All right, here we go. Let's give it another shot. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the BTS Europe Series. I'm KotLGuy. I got joining me Rime, Dota, and we have Broodmothers versus Team Alternate Attacks. It's been a bit of a bumpy road to get this series started. We remade into an AP, so everyone is at attendance. And here you see the full draft before you, exact same picks. Broodmothers grab up the Axe, the Slark, the Dazzle, a Kunkka, and a Jug. Team Alternate Attacks with their own little ideas here. They get up the Spirit Breaker, the Oracle, the Slardar, the Storm Spirit, and the Troll Warlord. Rime, who is winning game number 1 based on draft alone? What do you think?
Based on draft alone, I'm pretty sure Broodmothers have the stronger draft,
Fair
provided
enough.
Slark gets farm.
But we'll have to see. Alternate Attacks, you know, with the Troll, with the Storm. You think on paper this doesn't seem to work out, or it's not really going to have enough to make it work, but you never know.
It's the kind of draft that's very good against an underfarm Slark, but against a farm Slark, he's pretty good against a lot of those heroes because he's going to outlast your burst, and then he's going to press ulti, and he's going to kill 2 people. But maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe they can get a farm Storm, and then that Storm threatens to pick off people, and then Jog can't really get much from the laning stage, and then we go from there. So I'd say it's probably going to be mostly on whether the Troll gets farm and whether the Storm gets farm, and if the Slark happens to fall over during the first 10 minutes.
We'll see if the Slark is going to be able to coast his way into your atypical Slark kind of a game and be able to pull it home here for the Greeks and Broodmothers, or if Team Alternate Attacks with their own ideas are going to try to mix things up. We go with an early smoke here from the Broodmothers. Dazzle heads straight to the top lane. And he's looking to see if he can catch anyone here from Alternate Attacks trying to plant their own crafty. But he's going to do a very deep ward. Is it right up here on the high ground? Yes, it is. That's a nice little spot. And he will have all that vision here for the offlane.
It's a good ward against anyone who wants to get in the lane, then walk back to the camp, and then go back to the lane. So any kind of Iron Talon jungler. But Slardar shows no sign of wanting to do so. He's a stout shield man who wants to sit in the wave. So, oh, look at Spirit Breaker. He doesn't have any regen. He does not intend to regen. He's going to charge someone, and then he's going to commit suicide, and then he's going to do it again.
All right, Fairy Fire
that's
for the final hurrah. We'll have to see if it's going to be more than enough.
That's an interesting item choice.
30 seconds.
He's like, I'll get the final say because I'll just pop my Fairy Fire and just barely live. We'll have to see if things pan out that way or not. For Slardar not being able to commit to any sort of Iron Talon or jungling get up, we'll have to see if he can even hold his own in the lanes if he's going to be zoned back by something like a Dazzle, which obviously would love to kind of catch any sort of enemy just hanging around within the creep wave. And you pair that together with the Kunkka, it could be a hard Slardar game. So for now, Broodmothers will be able to claim up what looks like the top rune here. A trade of both a piece, as we're going to have the Storm take one of his own in the Storm versus Jug matchup that's going to be breaking down here, Rime in the mid lane.
Yeah, it's going to be... I think this lane, Storm just farms, provided he doesn't fall over. There's almost no kill potential unless Kunkka wants to rotate down. He's probably going to be focused on threatening the Slardar. So I think the Storm should do just fine, because Remnant is a very good spell. Just looking at top lane, Dazzle is just catching the wave, so it doesn't push, which is nice. Kunkka's got boots first, so he's going to be quite spooky. And right away, Radiant realized that they can just push out the bottom lane because Axe has no intention of going there.
Here's the trouble I was expecting here for the Slardar, as he's forced to kind of creep on through, recognizes there is going to be trouble nearby in the side shop, and really doesn't have any sort of safe place to be. Every time he hops to one side, there's a Kunkka there, the other side has a Dazzle, and now he's got to play this kind of cat and mouse game in the lane for the meantime. Now a commitment for that early poison touch. And he's just going to go on a journey here, hoping for a good maybe juke spot between the trees. Dazzle's waiting to cut him off. Beats the one, heads south. This is a man on the run. And suddenly Relax looks to intercept. He has to head the other way, and Call's going to miss. Eventually, the Slardar does go down. My God, what a wild goose chase. But they eventually get it.
Alright, Spirit Breaker is trying to slow down this Axe jungle. So, Axe jungle, you basically want to take these 2 camps and stack the hard camp and then farm that much later when you're much tankier. But he's trying to stop him from farming this medium camp. And Kunkka's just going to give him all his tangos. Alright. And Spirit Breaker can no longer threaten him. But they don't get the stack off, so Axe jungle has been slowed down. And he doesn't kill that camp either, so his jungle's, yeah, not going too well.
At least Spirit Breaker will be able to grab up the rune he had been just kind of lollygagging around here, but without being able to make too much of a scary threat. His purpose does feel a bit mediocre here. Can he get the at least a little bit of
Could you
RNG?
just
No.
check if the overlay is still on?
I got it. I know. I actually saw it before everyone. Like right as the laning phase began, I quickly took it off. So yeah.
I'm just a concerned citizen, you know.
I understand and I appreciate it for letting me know. Some people would never notice along with me, and we would experience a good solid 5 minutes of it. But this time I get it eventually. You know. I'll just chalk it up to all the chaos of the scheduling. It's an excuse, I know. Charge in mid lane and cancel.
Spirit Breaker is a very intimidating cow, and he will intimidate Jug to his heart's content. But yeah, you see Storm just sitting on 18 CS, Jug a bit less, but he's got another range creep coming to him, so this lane is going about as evenly as you could ever expect. So the Slardar, he's not going to get much, but the reason he's not going to get much is because he dedicated so much time to dealing with the Conqueror and the Dazzle, so they didn't roam on his Storm. And now that Storm's a bit higher level, he can push out the wave much faster. He's a bit safer, but he may die.
Well, as he is able to get off the Torrent X combo, Storm or Spirit Breaker will charge on through, and the situation will be just diluted a little bit. They'll pull off and kind of keeping each other in check.
Level 5 is where the Juggernaut gets scary, because that's the point where he starts killing heroes, because he does quite a bit of damage. 650 before reduction. It's quite a bit. And then he can also push out waves at that point as well, so when he finishes and kills a siege creep maybe, he'll start pushing out the wave a bit more. No one's got this bot rune yet though. Surprised no one even has any interest in going for it. I guess both teams just assume that...
very rich soon with a double bounty, so it's exciting. We'll see.
Nah, he's not going to get it in time. He's going to go up there and he's going to see the bounty go, oh, I should have taken that.
Oh! I think there was like a brief moment when he could see the bounty, and now he shows up and suddenly it's an invis rune. He realizes that money was lost on this day. But for now, we'll just sport the invis and take his business back towards the mid lane, where we still have our Spirit Breaker friend casually bopping in, hoping maybe for some RNG to help set something up. Okay, there's a bump. Not going to get the second, and that will force the ward out. So
yeah, the Spirit Breaker, he's getting XP, he's got his boots, so he's not doing too badly. This troll he's missing CS on big creeps, but it doesn't matter too much. He's probably going to be putting a lot of pressure on this tower now. He's got his Aquila, he's about to get his level 6. So, oh, is he just not going to get it? Yeah, 590. But this tower should still go down, I think, unless the Axe wants to. No, he does not want to.
What about the build up here for this troll in the item department? And is it something of what we, the relic of the past of what we used to see?
It's pretty much what you used to see. It's the Aquila, then Phase, then Helm with a Dom, then probably some Blink and maybe Skadi some way, something like that. Just stuff that makes him tanky and can go in.
We'll see if maybe Team Alternate have their own method instead of following the typical cookie cutter. We'll have to recognize as he takes down the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. We'll now have a free lane if he wants to kind of hand it over to Oracle to make up for some farm while he takes residence into the jungle. And we'll occupy there. Slardar seems to be still creeping about. He has managed to kind of get himself to at least a level 4 position at only 9-0 CS though. He still obviously pales to what our opposing offlaner is able to get just kind of with making moves in the jungle. He's at 42 CS on the Axe, level 6. He's ready to make an impact in the game.
Yeah, he's doing... Actually, the Axe is behind. He's very behind where he should be because of the Spirit Breaker. The small rotation screwed up his jungle quite a lot. He didn't get a medium camp and he didn't get stuck on a big camp, and that slows you down by like a minute to a minute and a half. And he didn't get very good camps either, so he... Like, if he was perfectly farmed, he should be like almost level 8 by now. Maybe higher than that. So, he's not doing perfectly, but he's doing okay.
Rarely though. When do things, especially for junglers, work out perfectly in these kind of hectic games? I don't know, EU Dota games at least.
There hasn't been that much movement. It's only the one Spirit Breaker move, so...
That's all it takes though. That one rotation. Suddenly his whole game is shifted and totally off. Top lane. All that happens, there is going to be a kill mid lane. Axe just does make that impact as he gets the double kill in the mid lane. Unfortunately, I was caught up with the Spirit Breaker movement heading towards the top, but wow, 3-0 already. Broodmothers just jump in and dunk it forward.
They all just run through. Storm is at level 6, so he can't jump away. They get the X Torrent, and then Jug just Omnis. They quickly dunk the Storm, and then Oracle TPs in to try and save the Jug. He catches the rest of the Omni Slash, and then immediately gets dunked too. So that was not the best thing that could have happened for Radiant, but what are you going to do? So this Oracle actually had a really, really good start. He was the main beneficiary of this bot lane, but other than the troll, of course. So there was a lot of farm on both those heroes. Like the trade-off was that like the Sada wasn't getting much, but the Oracle was getting a lot, as opposed to the Dazzle not getting that much. But after that death, that's kind of nullified, which isn't too good. And now it's just a question of, does this troll being overly farmed allow alternate attacks to really do that much in the game, as opposed to this axe getting kills? So,
it's a great question you got there, Ryman. I guess we'll wait to see if what the answer is going to be. If alternate can utilize the troll in some sort of mid-game impact, creep in a Roche, or allow him to kind of become the big boss man we're used to seeing and being terrorized by back in the day. So as it stands right now, though, he just continues kind of wallowing on through between the jungle and the bottom lane, grinding away as necessary. Slardar has found his home back into the top lane, recognizing that he has to get himself pushed on forward towards this level 6 so he can try to kind of match up and be available for the rest of his team, I suppose, if necessary. And Storm, about level 7.5, so I don't know, we're almost getting to ball lightning territory here.
yeah, you see, he can't play aggressively for a while though. Maybe even until level 11. Like you see in Europe, as opposed to NA, you see lots of these Storms go Bloodstone. They will go Bloodstone after Treads, whereas in NA, pretty much everyone goes like Soaring or Mana Boots straight into Bloodstone, and then gets the Treads after, because you farm the Bloodstone so much more quickly, doing the latter. Also, if you look on bot lane, you can see this little confrontation that always happens in games where both safe laners get free farm. There's always the 5 support who goes, hold on, my hero's just left the lane, I can go farm. So you now have this little opposition between the Spirit Breaker and the Conquer, where they have this little 1v1. And then they both go, I'm not going to use spells on you.
Yeah, it's a mutual agreement thing. It's like, listen, we both have been neglected quite a bit through the rest of this game, so why don't I get mine, you get yours, and we just kind of do this thing, and later on we'll meet up in a fight. Unless, of course, we happen to have a partner who interferes in the lane, and then, of course, I'll join him in helping beat your ass. But I've been that support before in that lane, where you just kind of go, hey, can you mind if I take this wave?
Oh, Focus is just sitting here. He's just going to farm up a little bit more. The Stardar, he's just going to get a blink. I don't think he's even going to go Tranquil. He's just going to get blink as fast as possible. They're going to steal this stack. That's a 4 stack being taken.
That's yummy.
That's quite a bit of gold.
Focus not too happy about it. The follow-up is going to be there. Relax does jump in. There's going to be the quick false promise, which allows the Storm to quickly jump out. But boom! Look at the retort coming out. Trolls came to play. Grave will be able to keep the Elax alive for now. There's the heal. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it will. He stays alive and backpedals a little bit. Focus will move on in. Taking down the Slardar. The follow-up with the help of the Omni. And then the dunk comes out. Relax. Emphatic on that one. 5-0 start for the Greeks. Very nice.
Yeah, so they were like, okay, we've saved our Storm, the enemy team has used all their spells, and then we're going to go kill the Axe, and then they don't realize, hold on, there's a Grave, so the Axe isn't going to die, he's going to probably kill everyone. So that hasn't gone as well as Radiant would have liked, and it gives the Juggernaut excuse to use his Omni Slash, so he's probably even going to get level 11 before he has to use it again, so there's going to be a little bit of another power spike for Broodmothers in the time to come. Whereas the Storm, yeah, he goes for the Treads before the Bloodstone, and the main thing that's happening here is...
You didn't say which you were a fan of, by the way. Do you like the straight to Bloodstone thing, or do you think the modest Treads first is way
I think the straight to Bloodstone thing is better, because honestly, you don't really want to be fighting in the early mid-game of Storm, because it's incredibly inefficient. And although you may have to sometimes, you don't really want to. And if you build yourself to do the thing that's not really efficient, just in case you need to fight, then I don't think you're going to set yourself up to win the majority of games, or rather, most games. It's like one of those things where the majority of the time, if you're farming, if you go Bloodstone first, you'll win the game, and if you go Treads, even if you get those fights, you'll still win less games than if you went Bloodstone first. It's one of those like mini sample size things. So
you can get that with so many different heroes. That's why Dota's such a crazy game. I mean, obviously, I'm not one to play those kind of heroes too often. I'm a bitch-made support player, but nonetheless, you can just see that everyone has their own little intricacies about what they like to roll with, even like AM and such. Top lane. Crushed by Focus. Swing and a miss for the pounce as the response. The fish battling it out here in the top lane, just trading blows within each other, and they'll still continue to kind of juke and jive a bit, but eventually they'll just disperse, and I don't know. We have to wait what the response is going to be here for alternate, because Broodmother's certainly on the up and up, and as you already mentioned, their secondary power spike is going to be coming.
Yep. So the Axe is going Vanguard. I don't like Vanguard as opposed to Blade Mail in this game, but he's the chooser of his own destiny, so he does what he wants. The Slardar has fallen pretty far behind. After that death, he was sitting up. Well, before he was sitting at 1300 gold, and now he's just got the Tranquil Boots and 700. So.
Oh, he might be a little bit poorer than 800 now. He gets quickly taken down, and he will lose a chunk of his change that he was hoping to save up towards that Blink Dagger. Nice boat, by the way, and he just gets blown up.
Yep, so he stops the counter initiation and kills the hero with the same boat, so that's pretty good stuff. And the Vanguard is now picked up on the Axe, so he's gonna run at people quite a bit. The Dazzle's been given the bot lane to farm, so he's gonna get a little bit more currency going in. And the Jug is about to hit level 11, and they probably want to take a fight mid. But turns out Radiant want to take a fight mid too, so let's see what happens. Nope, no one's fighting. Okay.
I mean, they're congregated here, like as if they want to do something. It's a tight little 3-on-3, and I would imagine, yeah, that they're gonna be feeling a bit frisky with Axe at attendance, certainly with the Blink Dagger. Ooh, pump fake in the Nether Strikes. Alternate could creep themselves into a little bit of trouble if not careful here. I'm looking over their vision, and I'm sure from their perspective they see that almost all of Broodmothers are missing off the map with the exception of this Jug mid lane. So they'll be cautious. Look who's wrapping around though. Here comes Broodmothers, anticipating that Alternate is going to be nearby, and they're going to run right into Spirit Breaker. They lead in with the early Poison Touch. But, oh, so fast to purge it off here by the Oracle, but he's going to get bounced up. He's going to be forced to False Promise, tries to avoid the trouble, but the right clicks will be there, and he'll eventually be taken apart. They'll try to still recoup what they almost had lost in the Spirit Breaker and make it a 2-for special on both supports. Storm wants to jump into play, but he just jumps into his own death, and it quickly becomes the lives of 3 on this side of Alternate. Broodmothers will take a heavy-handed advantage now and try to, I was going to say go for the tier 1, but they ping back, and it looks like they'll finish off what they started.
Yep. See here, Radiant have the top net worth Troll, but the thing is, a Troll with a lot of farm still can't deliver damage because he needs to walk in and he needs to stay next to his target for him to do anything. And against the heroes that he's against, like he's probably going to get called and his target's probably going to get graved. Oh no.
What happened there? Slardar was just kind of chilling in his own world. Jug comes up, knocks him on the shoulder a couple of times, gives him an Omni, and, well, they eventually finish off what they'd started. That is very awkward. I don't know if some serious discussions are happening on the side of Alternate, but somebody was sleeping at the wheel there.
Yeah. It's like, I think there were 3 slashes there that could have jumped to creeps but didn't, so it's unfortunate for Slardar, but he was running into death anyway, so what can you do? The Sark's getting closer to Echo Saber now. He's 300 gold off after this tower. He's probably going to have it. The Storm's trying to split, but he's really quite poor. He's sitting on 4.7k net worth compared to the 6.6 of this Juggernaut. So I'm just... He's gone the fighting gold, and he's fought, and he's lost, so... This is kind of his own doing, really.
Yeah, well, he'll look for recovery as he heads into the jungle in hopes of building up towards what I imagine being the magical bloodstone here as a hopeful ticket to get them back into the positive, because right now Broodmothers, very, very lopsided game right now with a 10-0 advantage to begin their D-Ward process down this mid lane, and they've already trumped all 3 tier 1 towers, so we'll have to see what's next on the docket for them. They head towards the top lane, towards that highest net worth farmed Troll Warlord that Alternate seems to be getting behind right now. We'll have to see. Can Alternate get themselves on the board with a fight up here?
Juggernaut's coming from behind. They see him with the Spirit Breaker, but I think he knows that they see him.
And as he tries to swing back the other way, he will be able to get off the Blade Fury. And he's trying to run towards his team, and Alternate do not want to chase too much further, but they do happen to catch sight of the Dazzle nearby. He'll put himself with a self-grave, and he goes down, and, well, Broodmothers, they want redemption for it. Slark looking to go right in and hopes to isolate the Oracle, leaves him enough for a dunk assist. Set him up, knock him down. Nicely done there from Broodmothers. And here comes the response, but as the Troll jumps in, he just gets quickly slaughtered. There's no chance at all for Team Alternate. My goodness, triple kill already for Relax. Rime, this one could be over quick.
Yeah. Sometimes you just farm for 17 minutes on a troll, you get 170 CS, you get your Ascension Yasha, your Helm of the Dom, and then Axe just walks up to you and
And you just
does that.
wipe your hands and you go, all right, well, game was good.
Yeah, I've done my best. I've farmed. I've been a carry for a short amount of time. Like Axe is just, he's got a blade mail now, and they're gonna get Roche, and they can put Aegis on whoever they want. And it's probably gonna be a fine choice.
So it's a matter of just kind of going through all the check boxes now if you're Team Broodmothers. And for alternate, getting closer to desperation mode and reaching pretty deep. They were able to kind of at least get themselves a kill. So it's not a shutout, Rime. You can always look at the
it's not
positive
a
on that.
shutout. They did get the one pick off on the Dazzle.
Okay, they might get another one on said Dazzle here, unless someone TP's in, but even that seems like too much of a sketchy commitment. And they'll let the little Rastafarian go. So. All that happens, of course, Broodmothers will be able to finish off the Roche, and as soon as it's done, they head towards the top lane. Get over here! Spirit Breaker tries to charge away, but Kunkka will not have any of it. Brings him right back into their open arms, and he'll go down.
Yep. So Storm, he's sitting on 2.4k net worth. Does he have anything on the courier? No. So he's quite a bit away from his Bloodstone. Maybe 2,000 or so. 1,500, I guess. He's got a long way to go before he can even think about doing anything, because even if he had a Bloodstone, even if he like had more than that, he was sitting an equivalent net worth, he'd still be playing against a Slark and a Jog, both of whom can have a button to press that they can avoid dying to him. So.
And you have a Dazzle there, and that Troll, who is like the saving grace here for, okay, that's nice, okay. On the way out, I'll just hit you with a nice little knock on the back of the head. They'll take out the Troll.
They could get the Axe.
Storm, they're going to try their best. He's caught between three. He might kill some, though. Oh, he will! He dunks one, he tries to dunk another, but it doesn't matter. They're going to get him anyways. No respect coming out here from Broodmothers. They will take everything they can and absolutely pillage the town of Alternate. Storm.
Is he going to get the X? Oh.
Can he rush back home? No. The X pulls him right back, and they say, we want the 5-man wipe, and they will get it. Broodmothers here. I have not seen a more dominant one-sided performance in the BTS series yet. Here it is.
Well, they gave it a good go. They had a plan.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Maybe it still has time to work, who knows. But sometimes you just go on an Axe, and then he calls 3 people, and then you get 3-man boat torrented. So, that's about that, really.
Axe is, like, as great as he'll be at this point in time, it's obvious that he's too much of a machine to be able to bring down. With Jug already having his level 2 ulti and plenty of items to back him up. I mean, they're all powerhouses. It's not easy for anyone. Storm jumps in. You think you have to get the Dazzle because whoever else he's going to go on is going to get graved up. Axe, Jug, Slark. I don't know what the hell you're going to do. This is...
Well, Troll is pretty much guaranteed to die to the Axe Blade Mail every single time until he gets Satanic. And there's a bit of a problem with that, because Satanic costs a lot, and Troll doesn't have very much, so...
No. Yeah. I mean, 2k gold saved up in the bank. Mind games here, you know, just yelling at them to try to make sure they get away from the base. Does the parent alternate know that...
It's just spamming ult. God, that's...
Finally, they've had enough, and they X them to shut him up. Tier 3's down, though. Your base, your racks are getting hit, and here we go. The jump in is going to be happening here. Broodmothers set up a call. Not enough of a follow-up to get a finish quite yet, but eventually the Spirit Breaker will get off that Nether Strike and barely be able to waddle back and away. Crush step in. Boat, though, will help mitigate a lot of the damage, and you would think that Broodmothers haven't even been scratched yet by Team Alternate. Eventually Troll goes in there, but just as fast as he goes in, his head falls off and hits the floor, and Broodmothers claim the mid lane for themselves.
So... Troll went in for the 3rd time, and he got called by Axe Blade Mail, and then he got his head chopped off again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really know what he can do different in this position.
There's not really anything that differently he can do, because, I don't know, I think the draft just doesn't deal with Axe Dazzle very well. Yeah,
you know, I give respect to Alternate. They came in here into game number 1. They had their own motives. They had their own game plan. They knew what they wanted to do. They just might have to think about it differently for game number 2, Rime, and also kind of incorporate what the other opponents are looking to get out of it and how they might be able to stop you from doing your game plan or something. That's I'm reaching, I feel, Rime.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling that style of draft, so maybe they'll go for something a bit more thought out, because they didn't really seem to adjust their draft at all after seeing the Axe Dazzle, and I think you really need to, because Axe is very good at doing what Axe does.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, Axe, so...
Yeah, that was a wonderful performance from Broodmothers. I'm anxious to see, for game number 2, Team Alternate, maybe they got something else that's even more crafty up their sleeves. Maybe they'll do something a bit more traditional. We'll have to see. It's been an interesting road so far, folks, but we still have another game ahead of us. These are all 2-game series through the group stage of the BTS Europe Series. So we'll cut to a very short break, and when we get back, it's going to be game 2, Broodmothers versus Team Alternate. I'm KotLGuy, and that's Rime Dota. We'll see you soon.